lot of like responsibilities.
So usually I don't like to do charts in the room with the patient because it takes so much away. So I usually will do it when I'm done with the patient, between patients, and mainly over the lunch hour and at the end of the day.
Write a chart after work before I go home and spend some time with my family. Once my kids go to bed, I do more charts and do it over again.
I find charting to be incredibly exhausting.
It's both emotionally and physically draining, especially depending on the patients that you're seeing and the complexity, when it comes to finishing up for the day.
Everybody's head is in a computer trying to chart instead of interact with one another.
I think it's probably the most fatiguing part of medicine and about my job.
Yes, it's often you don't have the energy to do things when you get home, even from going for a run or working out, and even just communicating and talking about the day, you're just exhausted.
It's sometimes hard to get myself to do the charts in the evening.
Sometimes it's not as accurate as it could be.
If I had a tool that could help me cut down on my chart time, I could spend more time with my kids. I could pick my son up from daycare more days.
Then I began using Contrast Hub.
It helps, especially in the mental health visits. There's little details that a lot of times I'll forget to include in the note. Before I was using Contrast, and now I don't have to try to recall all those little details. Sometimes, before I'd wake up in the middle of the night remembering a detail of that visit or encounter that I'd go back the following day and add. Now it doesn't seem like you have to do that because it's right there in front of you with it being more complete.
Positive effect on my relationship with patients. It allows me to spend more time in the room with them as opposed to having to do charting before the next patient. I have that full amount of time to spend with my patients. So it definitely improves, I think, my relationship with patients, just having more time to spend with them.
Because those are the ones that typically take the most time to document and to finish. It's also the ones that you want to be with the patient in the room with them at the time, and you don't want to be jotting notes and things down. So I think that's the most impactful time that I notice it, as it makes a big difference that way.
I no longer dread my laptop. My fingers would be sore at the end of the day from charting like I was a slave to my laptop instead of serving my patients and my families.
It's really why we went to medical school. We want to spend time with patients. It's really the most important and valued part of my job.
Very helpful in the fact that, you don't have to try to remember all those details while you're in the room with the patient. I think it has a big positive impact.
Contrast Hub takes care of the rest.